Yoga has absolutely transformed my life. So I've been practicing yoga for more than 15 years now. And I came to it in a very roundabout way. But what it's done, it's a combination of helping me get diagnosed with cancer to actually also healing myself from cancer and healing beyond the body, which is addressing stuff in my mind, in my spirit. I really believe that yoga is the world's greatest antidote to the fast-paced, hyper kind of a pace of life that we lead right now. We tend to react in the moment. You know, we don't have a little bit of breathing space in order to actually look at a situation more objectively. So I think that yoga applies to everyone in life, whether you're talking about an overstressed young mom, whether you're talking about a CEO, whether you're talking about an actor, someone in the creative arts, or someone who has a desk job. Yoga has an incredible benefit for everyone. And I can't say enough good things about it. It's really, really transformed my life on so many levels. In yoga, we have this idea that prana is basically a life force that we bring into our body through the breath, you know, and the prana is something that activates all of our centers and really essentially gives us life as we know it. So yoga is also about connecting your movement to your breath. And what that ends up doing is making you become more mindful of yourself, your body, your place in the world. It just opens yourself in ways that are really hard to describe, and that sometimes I actually don't even want to talk about it. I feel like you have to experience it, you know? It's a very experiential thing. You have to get on the mat and try it out. The point is that yoga will grow in you and you will receive the benefits. And that is really the key, that it's such a beautiful ancient teaching, but you still want to invite people to come and experience it. And I've experienced so many incredible benefits of yoga that was obviously one of the reasons why I decided to open one of my own yoga studios. And I'm the co-owner of a Moksha Yoga studio just outside of Toronto. And I think that what ends up happening is that you see the ways that it transforms your entire life. It touches your whole life. It touches you physically, it touches you mentally, you know, you become a lot calmer, you're less reactive, you're able to handle a lot more in your life. You make better decisions. I personally experienced so many benefits that you just really want to share it with other people. It becomes almost like a pay it forward kind of a phenomenon. And that was really one of the main motivations behind opening up the yoga studio, is just being able to share the joy and the love of yoga. And I feel that people, particularly in Canada, can really benefit from practicing yoga. Yoga is a perfect antidote to these incredibly fast-paced, stressed-out lifestyles that we're leading in today's modern world. Also doesn't really require a huge financial investment. Plus, it also creates this incredible sense of community. When you're in a room full of people, there's a certain kind of a feeling, there's a certain kind of an energy, there's a certain kind of a support. The yoga that is most familiar here in North America is the physical practice of yoga, because, you know, there's a spiritual aspect to it. And, you know, some people say that the physical practice of yoga is all in preparation to meditate, basically. You know, it's only one stage on the eightfold path of yoga. Using the body to access deeper parts of yourself is a fantastic, legitimate ancient practice, you know. And a lot of tension and stress is held in our body. So this is, again, a great way of releasing it. We practice these asanas on the mat in the studio, but the lessons can be taken off the mat, out into the world, and applied into your real life. And that's really the magic of yoga. And that's, I think, why so many people are also becoming drawn to yoga. The point about yoga is that you start from where you are. It is also the antidote to this very, very competitive kind of a mindset that we kind of have nurtured in our contemporary society, that, you know, you have to be better, 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 that you're competing with the guy next to you, that there's a better or there's a best. And what you realize when you're practicing yoga is that there is no such thing. There's just a path, there's a journey, and your better or your best is only in reference to yourself and not the person to the right of you or to the left of you. Because sometimes a lot of the decisions we make, we're not conscious, we're making in reaction to something that we see, or we're making it in reaction to someone else. Well, he's doing so well, or he's bought this car, so Obviously I feel the pressure to one-up him. More than anything, yoga in North America has taken on its own particular form. And it's really become something that is, relevant to everyone and anyone's kind of a background. It's a practice that is very secular and inclusive and a great stress buster. And also a lot of fun as well, a lot of fun, but it makes you understand yourself. It's really, really a practice that you create with yourself. So you get a deeper understanding of who you are, and you get deeper insights, and you start seeing your own habits and the way that your mind works, and it's really, really quite magical. And that's what I mean. I get so excited, I just want to share it with everyone. And then obviously that's why I ended up opening up the yoga studio. I even have trained as a yoga teacher. And that was really, really important for me. It was really, really fundamental to be able to try to share the practice of yoga. And that's why people just feel so fantastic when you're lying on your mat at the end of the class in Shavasana. And I came to meditation in a very interesting way because I was studying acting. And I thought that it would open up my creativity. I'd heard a couple of great acting teachers talk about that. Because what we talk about in acting, in order to access certain parts of ourselves, we have to get out of our mind. And I kept hearing this phrase, and it was a very puzzling phrase to me, get out of your mind. But when I started studying meditation, very, very simple mindful practices of sitting and watching your thoughts was revolutionary. Like, it just revolutionized my entire perspective on life. Whether you have a negative thought about yourself, where you say, I can't do it, it's just a thought. It's a self-limiting thought. And whether you can do something or you cannot do something is actually not based on your thought. However, the thought will be an obstacle to you actually at least trying to do something. It's a very, very practical spiritual technology that can be used from the boardroom to the schoolroom to a set to what, you can take it with you everywhere in your life. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, obviously, a lot of people ask me to this day, didn't you feel fearful? And I said, yeah, I did, but it was just a thought. And obviously, because it's just a thought, it can also dissolve. It takes work, it takes practice, it takes mind training, but it's sort of the greatest way that you could empower yourself in the world today. So I'm all for meditation everywhere. And and it's not easy either. Start with 5 minutes. Start with, just sitting down a little bit in the morning. And there's many different types of meditation, so sometimes people get confused, so it's really helpful sometimes to maybe find a great meditation coach or a teacher. But fortunately, we live in a world today where we've got a lot of information at our fingertips, so you can YouTube videos, and it's really about mindfulness, and mindfulness really is just about self-awareness. It's becoming more present to what is as opposed to what we think is happening. And just remember, just at least allow the possibility that our mind is a bit of a filter, and that sometimes it ends up actually creating something that is not there. So really the work of becoming more mindful is rooting yourself back into your body, breathing, taking a breath so that you are in the here and the now, because all we have is the now. And that's the cool thing.